years, scientists have known that a swarm of killer bees has been headed towards the United States. Now, Warner Brothers presents Irwin Allen's The Swarm.
We have visual contact.
Identify.
A black mass here. A moving black mass. We have been invaded by an enemy far more lethal than any human force.
Starring Michael Caine, Catherine Ross, Richard Widmark, Richard Chamberlain, Olivia de Havilland, Ben Johnson, Lee Grant, Jose Ferrer, Patty Duke Aston, Slim Pickens, Bradford Dillman, Fred McMurray, and Henry Fonda. A story of courage and sacrifice.
Not since the 30s, when families by the thousands fled the Oklahoma Dust Bowl, has a thriving American community had to be totally evacuated. Until today.
Its size is immeasurable. Its power is limitless. Its enemy is man.
The war that I've always talked about has finally started.
Mile by mile, city by city, moves, leaving in its wake a path of destruction.
For God's sake, Crane, when are we going to stop this massacre?
Irwin Allen's The Swarm. It is more than speculation. It is a prediction. The Swarm is coming.
Welcome, boys and ghouls, to another installment of Monster Mike's Mayhem. On today's special November installment, I want to talk about a very rare gem of a movie based on the novel, the 1978 classic, The Swarm, starring Michael Caine and others. This movie came out in the theaters, and it was one of those movies that was supposed to be like the disaster movies of the 1970s. Back then, that kick, they would do Towering Inferno, or possibly even Earthquake. You got your, different, disasters in space and stuff like that. And this was like a monster movie of the 70s. And what they were is a literal swarm of bees, thousands and thousands of them, into the millions, swarming this community in California. And what happens is they start taking over the world. This movie came out in 1978 with Michael Caine, as mentioned, and he was the lead in this film. It's November, and you guys probably know what it's like. October, November, you guys will see these bees kind of going around collecting honey and stuff, and you almost get stung by the trash cans, and they're always looking for sweet stuff. I've been to pumpkin patches in different places, and you'll see bees everywhere, at apple orchards and stuff during the fall. And I thought it would be a good time to bring out my 1978 The Swarm blow up bee promotional blow up. You can see he's got the body. The body's pretty big, compared to my hand. He's pretty big You know, he's at least, I'm going to say he is 2 feet long, and he is about a foot wide. And you can see the top of him. He's got the wings are see-through, kind of a cool feature. And then, of course, you've got the segmented legs, the big bee head with the antennae, and the big eyes, and of course the big thorax with the stinger on the back. And this would have been hanging up in your local video store in 1978 to promote the Swarm. They also made like Swarm t-shirts to give out to the customers, the video stores and the movie theaters back then. This might have even been hanging in the movie theater, who knows? I mean, the history on these things kind of go back over 45 years or something. So this is like a 45-year-old blow-up. It's still in good shape for its age. I was going out about 7.5 years ago. I was walking a neighborhood close to my house, and I happened to see a couple of yard sales going on in front of these houses. And I went out, and next to this yard sale, there was a hill, and it had all the stuff laying on this hill. And this blow up was laying there deflated, and it just looked like a lump of plastic. And I picked it up and looked at it and realized it was a inflatable from either a movie theater or a video store back in the 70s. And I did some research and found out it was from the Swarm. So I got it for 50 cents back 7 years ago at a garage sale or a yard sale, wherever you want to call them. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that I scored this at somebody's house, you know, and I just thought that was so unique, you know, how cool this is. I do collect movie video store memorabilia, like blow-ups to promote movies and, you know, horror and science fiction and fantasy movies. I do like my comedies and my, you know, action films. I mean, who don't? But, you know, my genre, I'm kind of a big horror nerd and sci-fi nerd, of course, you know, so who isn't, you know, nowadays. But I love stuff like this, and I thought I would show my rare 78 the Swarm blow up promotional bee to you guys. I recently had a really big surprise. My buddy Anthony Scroggs, Froggy Flips, had visited me the last couple of years and did some videos on my collection, Monster Mike's Mayhem Basement of Horror, back in 2024 and this year. He's been here about 2-3 times, and he had recently recovered his external hard drive and was able to make the last video of us at the beginning of this year, where he came out and bought some really cool stuff. And you guys can kind of see my dungeon up close, what it looks like, you know, without all the smoke and magic and everything of my YouTube video. So I was really surprised when Froggy had posted my video. And everybody, I really appreciate you guys liking and subscribing to my channel, as that you have no clue how much I appreciate that. And I always appreciate the likes and the comments and whatever. If you got any questions about any rare items, I can probably answer them. I've been doing this for 37 years now, buy, selling, and collecting. It's one of my big hobbies. And, I want to give a shout out to Froggy Flips on his channel for kind of giving me a little bit of a shout out last week on some of his scores of 2025 that he got from me recently. But I thought I would bring this bad boy out and show you guys that this is a piece of history. I have seen the t-shirts of the Swarm, and they can go for, vintage ones can go for up to $50 for a vintage black t-shirt with the red Swarm lettering on it. This bad boy, I know it has to be at least several $100s for this blow up. At least maybe $350. If I ever sold it, I would want about $350 for it. It is mint. There's no holes. It is made of vinyl. It is not torn or discolored. It's over a 45-year-old blow up. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy with this item. I think it's really, really cool. If you guys ever get a chance to check out The Swarm with Michael Caine, check it out. It is available through, I believe, Vinegar Syndrome, or I know that the Bees came out through Vinegar not too long ago with A Slip. And that's another 1978 or 79 cult classic from back in the late 70s. And that one was really interesting movie also, because it was a similar type of attack of bees that attacked the city and was trying to kill a lot of the people in the city. They were trying to move them out. And John Saxon stars in that film in like 1978, right about the same time as The Swarm came out. They were like competing with Warner Brothers, I believe. Warner Brothers produced this in 78. And it's along the lines, folks, of those old disaster movies. You would see those like Tarantula and Squirm and The Swarm and the bees and the frogs and, the trees and all this kind of jazz. So, yeah, you would have like all these monster attack movies and all these disaster movies of the 70s. That was their big deal. So, yeah, if you guys ever want to check that out, I recommend that movie. And as always, I appreciate the likes and subscribes. And if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. And until next time, kiddies, stay tuned and get monstified.
For more than 20 years, scientists have known that a swarm of killer bees has been headed towards the United States. Now, Warner Brothers presents Irwin Allen's The Swarm.
We have visual contact.
Identify.
A black mass, sir. A moving black mass. We have been invaded by an enemy far more lethal than any human force.
Starring Michael Caine, Catherine Ross, Richard Widmark, Richard Chamberlain, Olivia de Havilland, Ben Johnson, Lee Grant, Jose Ferrer, Hattie Duke Aston, Slim Pickens, Bradford Dillman, Fred McMurray, and Henry Fonda. A story of courage and sacrifice.
Not since the 30s, when families by the thousands fled the Oklahoma Dust Bowl, has a thriving American community had to be totally evacuated. Until today.
Its size is immeasurable. Its power is limitless. Its enemy is man.
The war that I've always talked about has finally started.
Mile by mile, city by city, moves, leaving in its wake a path of destruction.
For God's sake, Crane, when are we going to stop this massacre?
Irwin Allen's The Swarm. It is more than speculation. It is a prediction. The Swarm is coming.